Well, hi guys, it's Andrea, and this is
Steve.
Steve.
Yes.
Nice to meet you, Steve.
Nice. Come here often, love.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, it's been more than 12 months since we've done a video, and it's our 1 year anniversary of being in Phuket, and we thought it might be a good idea. And of course, we have our contras. Yes. Although Steve told me tonight that he doesn't enjoy his contras as much anymore.
Only took 15 years to tell her, so that's good. That's progress. So we thought we'd share this special day with you. It's kind of like you turning up with cherry ripes from Australia all the time. I hate them. I could have sworn I was talking there for a second. There we got that. There we got that on camera. We can work out exactly who was talking and who climbed in over the top as usual. Anyway, sorry. After you.
No, what?
No, you were talking.
No, what are we here for?
I don't know.
Well, no, because we did promise.
Oh well.
But we did promise that we would show up again a little bit sooner than this, didn't we?
We did.
Because last time we announced that we were coming to Phuket and the reasons we were coming to Phuket, and then we were going to sort of give you a bit of an update after we actually got to Phuket, but we forgot to do that. Well, we didn't really forget.
And we kind of got wrapped up in the, plus the fact we never had electricity long enough to be able to record it.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? I love that.
Been eventful.
Oh, don't you love it when you hear about cities that are complaining about their electricity being out for 4 hours, and we're like, well, it's kind of normal, right?
Try having that for a weekend.
Yeah. Well, I've particularly enjoyed the lack of water recently. That's been good.
It's a pleasure, especially when you're in the middle of a rinse in the shower and there's just no water.
Reminds me of when I was in the army.
Mate, just glad. So luckily we got a backup shower. You can see it just behind us here. Mm-hmm. It's the blue shimmering body of water called this one.
Yes. You did attempt to have a shower in one month.
Yeah, it's kind of counterproductive, just end up with chlorine all over you. But
anyway, so we've been in Phuket for 12 months. Officially today, we moved into our house, and it's been a really interesting year, hasn't it? Right?
I love that word, interesting. It covers so many things.
Yeah. But
yes, it's been very interesting.
It's been an interesting year. But the first 3 months, I think I would just summarise as saying they were shit. They were really shit.
How could you say that?
I know, it's amazing, really. Oh. It was so shit on so many...
I wouldn't know, I was actually away for most of the first 3 months, which might have contributed to it.
Might have contributed to the shit.
But you did, what do you think?
But you did manage to do the bureaucratic side of life here, which is a little bit more challenging than most countries we've lived in. Well, all... because obviously English is not the first language here, so... but it's not even the fact that it's not even in English, it's not in, like, letters that we can understand. It's beautiful writing, right? But it's kind of loopy loops. It's Thai, yeah. But have we worked out if it's Phuket or Phuket? Because that was a commitment in our last video.
Still not too sure, still on the fence. But we heard a new one today. Someone referred to themselves as a Phuketian.
Yeah, well.
Big festival tomorrow, which we were all up for going to see, and then we found out it started at 6:30 in the morning. We're like, we might have to postpone that one till next year, maybe. Yeah.
Well, I'm a Melburnian, but at the same time, I'm a Wodongian, right?
Right. Would you boast about that?
Or an Eldongian.
Is that something you boast about? Put on your CV?
Chesham.
Chesham. Yeah. Cheshamite.
Yeah. Yeah, so the first 3 months were definitely interesting. Steve was away for a lot of it, and that wasn't a lot of fun. And the boys were just arseholes, weren't they?
Oh, and we moved into a house that nothing worked.
Oh.
Let's not forget that.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
You know, like in past lives, I've sort of turned up to rent a property, and I've looked at the property, and I've gone through and done a thorough assessment and raised multiple issues that need to be addressed. And before I actually move into the property, all of those things are addressed. And if they're not, I'm told in advance. So what we discovered on moving to Phuket is you come up with a list of issues, and then
verbally, and then you write them down.
Yeah.
And then you get confirmation by email they understand.
Yeah.
And then when you turn up to the house and nothing's done, they go, "Oh, did you want that done?"
Yeah.
And you go, "Yeah," because it was on all the emails and stuff that you've just confirmed. Oh, right, okay. Should be coming here.
So do you remember we had cold showers for the first week and we thought that might be just normal? And we're like, oh, okay, can we get used to this?
Yeah.
And then it started to feel cold. Even though it was still hot, it started to feel cold.
Yeah, the humidity.
And then we sort of raised that it might be a bit of an issue. Oh, do you want hot water? Yeah, that'd be good.
Anyway, 4 weeks later, someone was able to figure it out. They came in, lots of scratching of heads.
And within 4 weeks, it was actually cooler too, remember?
Yeah.
So there is a temperature change going on here. Most people think Phuket's always hot. And I think if you live in Australia or Europe or the US, where you actually have seasons, you might think they don't exist here, but they really do.
They do.
And we are now coming to the end of the rainy season, which is a little pitter-patter you can hear in the background. And electricity is a little bit tempestuous at this point of the year, right?
Yeah, well said.
So what else did you really enjoy when we first moved here?
Oh, just
the boys being complete and utter turds because they hated everything. And obviously they were adjusting to this new life.
So when you move
new friends, you know.
So when you move to a new country, usually there's a number of things that you do in order. It's like sort out where you live, like of late sort out schools and bits and pieces like that. But generally speaking, the countries that I've sort of relocated to, people speaking English, and things kind of have a semblance of sense. But moving here, it was the fact that every small thing was so hard. Even buying a car, even walking around with a bag full of cash, trying to buy a brand new car, and it was just painful.
Yeah, it's the only time in our lives
and the whole administrative. I mean, I'm quite interested. Andrea said she mentioned something about the administrative side of things because I have no idea that you knew about any of that. You certainly kept out of it.
Hey,
dragged you once to the immigration office, kicking and screaming, as compared to my 12 times I've been there.
I moved us
visas of re-entry permits
out of our last house and into this house. I did my jobs.
That's right.
And I think that's the secret to success with marriage. You just agree the jobs and you divide them, and you don't get involved in the other person at all. And so Steve sees my lack of participation in his work as not being interested, but I would just...
Personally, I'm just glad I'm not married to a control freak that feels like she has to stick her head into every little bit of my shit.
Except the administration.
Always in my stuff. Oh, yeah. No. What you'll do is you'll stand back from that and watch me slave over the books, and then you'll drop in some doozy of a comment. Well, have you ever thought about doing it this way? At which point, go outside and have a drink.
You'd be really bored if you weren't married to me, so let's just get over yourself.
Exactly. But getting back to the point in question. So a year in Phuket, been a few ups and downs, but we are absolutely of the opinion that it's great, love it. Really interesting people, amazing school, lovely community around the school, making really good friends, which is bizarre because there's quite a mix of people here. Very, very, very diverse sort of mix of cultures and stuff like that. Living in a sort of in a resorty type place as well, putting up with massive surges over the sort of peak times and stuff like that.
Tourist season's fun. We're gearing up for that. We're going to do a shop to Super Cheap and buy soft drinks and soda waters to get us through the season, because when the tourists turn up, nothing's left in the shops.
Well, it's not that. It's you go to the supermarket and you're constantly getting stabbed by people's Botox limbs. Constantly getting smacked in the back of the head by some chick who's had a Botox injection in her lip, and it's kind of coming out like 8 inches.
There is a period of time when there's a lot of beaks on display.
Yeah.
But each to their own, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Each to their own. A little bit of thunder.
That was the monsoon.
Yes. Just that moment?
No, it's a bit bigger than that.
Anyway, so we had the first 3 months. It was pretty intense and pretty miserable, and Steve was away a lot. And then...
which Andrea took in her stride. Never made me feel guilty.
I take everything in my stride.
Various abandoned kids at 4 a.m. in the morning. I'm caught in the States trying to sort stuff out. Dude, I don't know what's going on. Lovely moment, lovely.
No, the abandoned child was me being a responsible parent. Don't make it sound like I lost one of my children.
Oh, right, okay. No, that's my job, isn't it? I lose my children on the MLT, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you've lost more of our children than I have, so cut that out.
Right.
Anyway, so then we had 3 months where it was just nice and it was good, but by this point we'd also realised that the reason we came here, which was Lex, going into Arrowsmith, he was really starting to excel and he was really adjusting well, and trust me, the first 3 months he didn't adjust well at all. And we were quite frightened that they'd just sort of say, this ain't going to work. And of course, we pretty much put everything behind moving here. So being told it ain't going to work wasn't really something that we were up for at this point. But it did start working, and they said we shouldn't expect to see a result for 6 months, but I could definitely see it happening within 3 months. And here we are 12 months later, and it's just phenomenal what's going on for Lex. So much so that we actually put Jax in, not because he's got anywhere near the same challenges as Lexi's got, but because he had a year where his tonsils screwed him up and he never came back from that from an education point of view. He went from being top of the class to bottom of the class, and his self-confidence was going, and we're just like, all right, we're here, screw it, let's put him in Arrowsmith, right? Yeah. And so he's been here this term, and he's adjusted, and I think you know, it's best. Our boys are going to have 2 of the fittest brains on the planet, right? That's what Arrowsmith's all about. It's about training your brain. But the boys are making lots of friends, and they're growing. Oh my God, Lex is growing. He's almost taller than me. It's kind of frightening, and you know, their intellect is growing, their curiosity is growing. They're
both going through puberty.
Yeah, right? Or beginnings of puberty.
At the same time. But Lex is growing into a young man, which, if any of you haven't seen him for a little while,
you might be a little bit shocked.
Yeah, because he is literally 3 inches off catching up with Andrea, and they've overtaken Vic.
A long time ago. Well, they both have now, right?
Yeah.
A long time ago. Well,
months ago.
It was only half the clothes we bought when we went on holidays to the US don't fit Lex anymore.
Yeah,
it's just a couple of months.
So that was the other part of our year, was having navigated a year safely through school. We back to having summer holidays in sort of June, July and August, and so we decided to take a little trip around America. But it was good kind of hanging out with the boys and reflecting on our time in Phuket. And
in Phuket or America?
In Phuket, when we were in America, we were obviously in very close proximity to each other just about all the time. So we had lots of chance to talk about it. And the boys on the outside would say, oh, don't like it, but they actually love it. They love the fact that they're going off to sleep.
They've never said they love it. They've never said they love it, and it's really like, come on. Like, even for Jaxie, right? It's UWC Thailand, UWCT, is a very beautiful, gentle school. There's like 400 and something kids.
I forget the exact numbers. But gentle is a great word to describe.
But you know, like Lexi's whole piece there is the fact that the kids are kind.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of our experiences before, they weren't kind.
Yeah.
And I've watched Jax.
And they really like him. And they really like Jax.
And they take care of him, they're protective of him. But like, you know, I sort of think of Jax, and we put him on the bus to the Aussie school every day, and big school, and he'd be on the bus, and you know, he started off being the youngest to being, you know, like 2 or 3 years in, and there were bigger kids, and
I don't know, graduate to the one that would drive off the most.
Yeah, got in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, got a lot of trouble.
But I always felt like he was putting his armour on, you know, he was like protecting himself, going out and facing his days, and as a parent, you can't do anything about that. You just got to accept it. It's part of life, right? You got to launch your kids on the world, and they've got to work out how to adjust. But since we came here, I just think Jaxie's shaking that armour off, you know. And he's getting back in touch.
He's more, and especially the last 2 or 3 weeks, he's so much more in tune with himself, and there's like a lot of things, and he's saying some of the most lovely things. He's very reflective. Very thoughtful, which is nice, because before that he was like a chieftain tank, basically. He was just kind of careered into everything and over the top of anything that didn't move.
Yeah.
So it's nice to kind of see that, and I think that is, I certainly think that's a testament to like where we live and what we're open to, and he's kind of really into it. He does a little bit of meditation and
which
is lovely. So, I mean, I think...
But a long time ago, Steve said to me, we should take him out of the school's too big for him. And I'm like, you shouldn't move a kid unless you absolutely have to, right? And I know...
To the Australia school, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter which school it was. It was a school that, I don't know, didn't feed his soul. It started to shrink him. And I don't think that necessarily happens to all kids in a big school environment, but I think for Ella or Jaxie, who's got a pretty tender heart, I think it was starting to happen to him. I think it's more bringing him into an environment here at UWCT. I think it's the right place for him. So if there's any parent out there and your kid, you're convinced that your kid isn't thriving in a big environment, well, you know, maybe my lesson is listen to that.
Some kids do well in those big schools and others don't. And Jackson needs a little bit of help along the way, and so you know, you kind of.
Well, he's a big fella, so people presume he's tough, and he knows how to appear tough on the surface, but he's a big softy, right? And I think that's pretty indicative of most males.
Yeah.
But society sort of knocks your softness out of you, right? Yeah. And I don't know, we kind of...
We just put him in the Muay Thai ring and basically...
Well, yeah, he's got space for all that aggression because, you know, that's part of being a bloke too, right?
So how would you round up our year in Phuket?
Well, so
or is it Phuket?
Oh, yeah. we still don't know. I've learnt that I really, really, really love living on the beach, and I'm not a beach person. It's beautiful every night. One of us takes Freddie down to the beach for a walk, and we put our feet in all that magnesium that you get from the ocean. And we've been here for the whole cycle of a year, and the off season, which we're just coming to the end of, I got to tell you, for 6 months of the year, the beaches here are full of trash, and it's not Thai people dumping that trash. It's not tourists dumping that trash. This trash comes from a long, long, long way away. You can see by the state of it, like, because the quality of the trash changes every day, and we've got to sort this out, right? We ain't got that much time left. Anyway, I'm boring you.
Sorry, wake me up when you finish.
Yeah. No, we haven't got a lot of time left to save this world, and this year has been living it, like really living it firsthand. The amount of trash and the cycle. So anyway, so let's get onto it. Let's get rid of all these bullshit politicians who aren't willing to face it.
Hashtag plastic free Phuket.
Yes, that is a hashtag that I use, and a couple of other people do too, I think. But it's been amazing being here through the cycle, and it takes a long time to get settled in a place, but I think you've definitely got to be in any place for a year. You've got to go through the full seasonal cycles, like every cycle.
I think anyone who's come to stay with us will see that we've kind of socially integrated, I think.
We're meeting really cool people, and we're loving it, and really massively different walks of life, different reasons for being here. People who've been just like super successful and they've decided to retire. People who are just looking for a different lifestyle. Like so many different reasons for coming here. We're one of the few people that came here for a reason not linked to ourselves. We came here for one of our kids. It's become a reason for both of our kids. Really cool people that are just have a different outlook on life, which we do, because we think life's pretty cool, don't we?
We do.
And
we do. We like island life.
Yeah, but
I think is what my wife's trying to say.
No, it's just nice to be around the people that we're around at the moment, and we're both in and out a lot, and that's pretty relentless, right? Sometimes.
Yeah, and I think that probably helps with us keeping our sanity as well, right? So.
I don't know. It's
help yourself, by the way.
Yeah, well, Steve's not drinking his contract.
That was my drink because I haven't got a chance because someone keeps stealing it.
Yeah.
So, if you haven't been to visit,
come. We have a guest bedroom which is just over there. It's outside the main house, so you can be a guest in our house without feeling like you're in our house, because we actually appreciate what that feels like. It's really nice to have a guest bedroom outside the house. The coffee machine's great, and it's going well, right?
Yeah.
Got any gags to finish off with? Remember last time?
I don't know.
You got to finish on a high.
I think you've told all the gags, Andrea.
Oh, always making you laugh, aren't I?
Oh. Yeah.
All right, so there's our annual...
Tears of laughter or tears of joy? I'm not too sure yet. Oh, again.
He would be so bored if he wasn't married to me, right?
Be a bit more well off as well. Just
right.
Throw that one out there.
Right.
Yeah, all right.
Remember when we met?
Okay, yeah, right. Moving on.
I didn't marry him because he's rich, let's just say, right? But he's very, very brave. What's that?
It's just the loopy. It's one of those international things.
Yeah. No, I thought you were doing something like that or something.
I wouldn't do that. I'll leave that to Lex.
Yeah, no, he's pretty good at that these days.
He's got that nailed.
Yeah. So there you go. There's a one year update. Last time I spent 10 minutes trying to finish and saying, well, there you go.
You forgot to say. And we
What?
We lasted a year
there's
before
more.
we had our first snake incident.
Oh, yeah, just tonight.
So only
Baby
tonight.
Cobra.
And no doubt Andrew will have posted it on any one of a gazillion billion social media channels, this video of our
You're exaggerating.
Cobra, it's a baby one, it's a small one, but still a cobra. And we had to call the security guards in because I wasn't touching it or going anywhere near it, that's for certain.
Steve was the furthest away from it.
I was keeping a safe distance for all concerned. Andrea, however, was waving her camera phone in the face of these dudes who were sweating bullets trying to catch this thing, which was like 6 inches long. And then it tried to make a run for it.
Towards me, and I didn't have any shoes
on.
on.
And a dog comes careering in. You got to watch it. It's 2 minutes of pure joy.
I might add it on to the end of this. What do you reckon?
I'd like to watch you try.
But well, I won't. I'm going to
so
hire
you're
somebody.
Pay someone to do it. Right, okay, yeah.
Let's not be stupid.
Hard work.
You know, I just think it's really important that you focus on your skills that you've got. And if something takes you a day that someone else can spend 5 minutes doing, then I think it's worth paying that person for their 5 minutes of their time.
So that's what I thought. Rather than take care of the snake myself tonight, which I could have done, I'm very happy to do. There's a team of dudes there. They had a snake stick and everything.
Steve is at one with nature.
And I am all for gainful employment of the masses.
So
I wasn't going anywhere near it. I don't care how small it was. It was up and it was hissing.
And it definitely had the cobra head. I married a man who is terrified of anything that moves in the night.
Oh, for God's sake.
And it's true. My dad hit a tiger snake on the head with a spoon.
Bit of an urban myth.
Because it bit and killed the dog.
Right. Did he say anything afterwards?
Probably went, fucker. Something like that.
Don't let him.
Yeah. Steve's not at one with nature at all. But anyway, baby cobra, it was very cute. However, I didn't realise it was baby cobra immediately, so I did go in close for a look at that little snake, and I was like, oh, fuck, that looks like a fucking cobra head. And it was. And I'm thinking, where there's a baby cobra, there might be a mummy cobra and a lot of other little baby cobras.
You think?
Yeah. So
well worked out.
They've taken one.
Yeah. And no doubt they've released it.
Up.
No doubt they've released this cobra
in a very humane way.
In a natural habitat in a very humane way, and haven't cut it in half with a spade, which is what happens.
Oh no, these guys are good. Oh well, look, let's hope not, right?
Okay, you keep hoping, and I'll stick with reality.
We are living in the middle of a forest, so yeah, nature comes with that, right?
Absolutely. So we should sign off because we're at 27 minutes.
That's a long time.
It's
a lot of minutes, David.
Lots of minutes, David. I have to pay someone to edit some of this as well.
All right,
so cheers from a rainy Phuket, and if you haven't come to see us, come and see us.
Just check first that we're here.
Yes, good idea.
That'd be good, right?
Good idea.
And don't overlap, because that's really annoying.
Yes, that's hard as well.
Haven't got enough space to put you.
All right, see you when we see you.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. Kop kum kap.
Oh, kop kum ka. Feminine, masculine.
Spoken like natives.
Right, we have just found a baby cobra.
A baby cobra.
So where there's one, there's going to be a lot, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if those are going to be too big. The security guard, say hi.
Ngon mấy?
Say hi. Hi.
Keep it, no?
You're taking the job seriously.
Kia nóออกมาเที่ยวต้องออกไปไกลๆดิมึงไปที่ติดกำแพงไม่ติดหรอก
Can you run so
I
far?
haven't got any shoes on.
Ready?
เที่ยวออกไปไกลๆที่
Look.
เที่ยวออกก่อนเที่ยวออกไปเดี๋ยวเข้าไปรถนะ
I don't know if it's
Can
going to have a
run
good...
so fast, isn't it?
No.
Even they are so scared, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, there you are. Got it. Thank you.
Come, Kaya.